A monumental move has begun for the war in Iraq. The last American combat brigade has begun leaving the country. The 4th Stryker Brigade, 2nd Infantry Division, has begun driving out of the country. The brigade was officially designated the last combat brigade to leave Iraq under the president's plan to end combat operations in Iraq by August 31st. But the U.S. presence is still far from over. So just how important was this move? Joining us now to discuss it is retired Major Mike Lyons. He's a CBS News military analyst. Mike, how significant is this move?
It's very significant. The Army gets closure on its operations, 7.5 years in Iraq. Significant number, 4,415 combat casualties while we were there. Over 32,000 wounded soldiers. So this is part of Army culture, Army lore right now, and I think the military, and particularly the Army, wants closure. I think it's a very important event, especially the soldiers that are on that convoy from Baghdad back to Kuwait right now will never forget it.
Okay, yeah, certainly. And how many American troops, though, are still in Iraq? I mean, they don't just all disappear.
That's right. 50,000 will still be in Iraq. That'll be more combat troops. There'll be more troops there than we have in South Korea. They'll be working security force with the Iraqi security forces. They'll be embedded in their units, helping them train, helping them recognize certain security situations, and again, giving an American presence as a liaison to these security forces should the Americans have to come back in the case of an emergency.
So these are not technically combat. This is a security role.
That's right. And they won't, the reason why they're not combat is because they're not going to fight alongside other American soldiers. You won't have standard units and standard formations, but they'll be supporting these Iraqi security force units as best they can.
Okay, and how long will Americans remain there? I mean, is this ever going to end?
Well, the plan is to have them withdraw by the end of next year, but I think you'll see that change, and I think you'll see the Iraqi government come back to the United States, come back to the president and say, look, we want to keep security forces, we want to keep these forces there for a longer period of time. You know, the general a couple weeks ago said Americans should be there till 2020. Perhaps we'll start military exercises together. So I think you're going to see the cooperation of Iraq and the United States military happen for a long time to come.
Okay, CBS News military analyst Mike Lyons, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.